Clay again, and today I'm visited by a guest.
Hi everybody, I'm Clay.
I am doing kind of like a challenge video. I've done this before on my channel and I thought it'd be fun to challenge Clay to it. Essentially today we're going to be the judge a book by its cover. Again, I did this 4 years ago, but the premise of the idea is Matilda's playing with a toy. The premise of this is essentially I'm gonna pick like 5 well-known YA books that you probably have never heard of. And you, just by looking at the cover, have to try to tell me what it's about. And if I deem your idea close enough or creative enough, I might bless you with a point. And at the end, we'll just see how many points you get, and then like I guess if you do a good or a bad job, because you're not really competing against anyone but yourself.
It's the biggest competition you
Oh my
have.
god. Yeah, this is essentially a play on the idea that see books in the bookstore, we're judging off their covers. So this is a test, if you will. So here are my selections of books. This one is obvious what it is. But anyway, we're gonna go into round 1. A very popular and well-known contemporary book. Alrighty, Clay. Are you ready?
The unexpected everything. Alright, so I'm just gonna go out on a limb. Say she's a single young woman. Living in the big city.
In the big city, yeah.
And she's in a park. So I'm gonna say, let's go with New York to make it topical to our move. She's got 2 dogs. And it's gonna be about how she meets a lover at the park.
What does he do?
He's a dog groomer. It's very relevant.
So the story follows a young girl in New York City and her adventures in love with a dog groomer.
Yes, it's unexpected. Everything about it.
Honestly, you're not like terribly far off. I just don't think you get a lot of style points in that description. This follows a girl who lives in Connecticut. So
that's pretty close.
To New York. And she's in high school and she has her whole life planned out. And then her father's political scandal kind of derails her summer, so she becomes a dog walker.
Oh!
As her summer job. And she does find love, but he's a fantasy writer.
Okay.
So.
Was it while she was walking the dogs?
Yes.
Alright, so that's close.
Close-ish, but nah.
I knew that the dogs were gonna get her to the.
Well, I feel like that is a obvious route to go with. So I'm gonna say nah. Alright, so for round 2, we have this beauty here, a very famous and very popular fantasy novel. So
6 of crows, 6 dangerous outcasts, 1 impossible heist. Alright, so you got 6 people.
Yeah.
They've got to steal something. I'm gonna say Declaration of Independence.
Okay. Okay.
Because I have no idea, so.
Is Nicolas Cage in this book?
Yeah. Okay, 6 people. I'm gonna say they call themselves the Crows. That's what their group name is called.
Okay.
They're the Crows. There's 6 of them.
You keep saying 6.
They're all outcasts, so.
Okay. And they're trying to steal the Declaration of Independence?
Yes.
Why?
Because there's a map on the back.
Quit quoting the National Treasure.
So, it's medieval. I'm gonna say that.
Wow, but they're still trying to steal the Declaration of Independence?
I know, it's a time paradox. It's a New York Times #1 bestseller. I don't think that'll show up in the book, though. But it's on the title. Okay. And
so it's set in medieval times. There's 6 of them. They're called the Crows, and they're trying to steal the Declaration of Independence. Why?
They want to get rich.
They are trying to sell it.
No, they're actually. I read that they're outcasts, and that outcasts want to get back into society, so they want to be incasts.
Okay, so they're trying to.
And returning it to the king. George. King George.
So these outcasts are trying to give America back to England.
Yes.
But it's set in the medieval times. So I'm actually going to give you a point because I thought that was hilarious. So you have a point, even though that's so incredibly wrong. Well, kind of. It follows a group of outcasts, 6 of them, but again, that's on the cover, so I'm not giving you any credit for that. And they're trying to basically break into an impossible place to steal something to like save the world. Not the Declaration of Independence, but again, style points. So the next book is part of a very large series, and it is 1 book to it. I don't have the first book of the series, but I want you to maybe describe what this whole series you imagine is about based off of this cover. We have this book here, a very popular novel by a very popular lady. It's a shadow hunter's novel.
Lady Midnight by Cassandra Clare, The Dark Artifices. a shadow hunter novel.
So look to the back. Here's like the rest of the covers of the series. You can maybe use this as a jumping off point to what you think, who, what, where, and why is happening within this book series. Tell me. Let me know.
All right. So by looking at this, I see that there's a bunch of different people with a bunch of different skills and talents. It's seemingly, or it's one person with a bunch of talents.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say these are the shadow hunters. They work together to accomplish their goals of fighting magical and other threats to the world that they live in the shadow world.
In the shadow world, okay.
And Lady Midnight is gonna be some sort of villain that they have to fight. She lives underwater. She's got a sword. She can probably breathe underwater. She's some sort of mermaid witch. Okay. That's gonna be my guess.
Tell me about them. Tell me about if you got any forbidden romance, anything going on there.
So you got Mr. Shadow, and he's in love with Mrs. Hunter, and they form the Shadow Hunters together.
Okay, yeah.
And
because they're modern. She didn't want to take his last name. They did a hyphen.
Yes.
I like it. I like that.
Mr. and Mrs. Shadow Hunter. You got to pause between it. You know, they've got to keep it. They have the Shadow Hunter kids.
Sounds like the Brady Bunch.
They didn't hyphenate the name for the children though, because to save ink when they print.
Okay. So let me make sure I understand. So Mrs. Shadow and Mr. Hunter got married, started this demon organization to hunt monsters. All the other people in the organization are their children. One of them falls in love with Lady Midnight, who's like a sea monster.
Sea witch.
Sea witch.
Mermaid witch.
Okay. So you're not like terribly off. I mean, the creation of the organization via Mrs. Shadow and Mr. Hunter is wrong. But this is a huge series that follows the group called the Shadow Hunters, which are like angelic-y type people that fight demons.
Oh, I was so spot on with that one.
Yeah, you really were. There's like, it's international, so there are like places all around the world, and it's like a huge institute. So it's not just like one family, it's like all sorts of people. The series tends to deal a lot with forbidden romance, lots of angst, and lots of drama. This is actually one of the characters of the books. This is not a demon, but I would say you're pretty close. Like, you got the general premise, you got the organization, you got what their creed is in terms of killing demons, so I'm gonna give you a point. 2 points, Clay. This is the next one, second to last one. We have this very popular YA series.
We had the Six of Crows, now we got the Raven Boys. What's up?
Maybe they're competing gangs.
This is an incredible name, the Raven Boys. So, Raven Boys, they're hanging out. It's the 1640s, the best period in the 1600s. 1640s. They're the Raven Boys. They all.
Where do they live?
They live in, I'm gonna say the Ukraine. They're the Raven Boys hanging out in the Ukraine. It's cold, the 1640s. No heaters back then. They have their name the Raven Boys because they all walk around in raven outfits. They wear the beaks. They're the doctors. They're the doctors.
Okay, yeah.
But they're young.
But they're young. They're still the boys.
They're still the boys. Like, you need experience. Don't call the Raven Boys. The Raven Boys.
They're like the Ghostbusters?
They're busting diseases.
Okay, so that's what the premise is a group of boys in the Ukraine 1640s that fight disease?
Fight disease. There's a lot going on. Just hanging out, doing medicine stuff. They're the Raven Boys. I've got nothing to work with.
You are so wrong. It's insane. I'm kind of glad I got to experience. So this is set in kind of like modern times, and it's set in Virginia. I think this is set in Virginia. It's definitely set in the South. But the idea is there's these like 4 boys that are known as the Raven Boys at this very rich private school. They're peculiar, whatever. Our main character, Blue, who is a girl, is part of a family that are like psychics. And one night, Blue has like a vision, and she sees one of the Raven Boys, and apparently she falls in love with him, she's told, and then he dies. The main Raven Boy, Gansey, is obsessed with finding these things called magical ley lines, which have like magical powers, and it's very mysterious in this way. So basically saying you are so wrong, but I am kind of interested about this like ragtag group of boys in the 1640s fighting diseases, kind of like the Ghostbusters. Keep trying to say it's not like the Ghostbusters, but it is the Ghostbusters.
The Ghostbusters fight ghosts.
Yeah, they're fighting disease. It's the disease Ghostbusters.
Okay.
Did not get a point for the last round, though I liked the creativity. But we're on our very last one. We have This Beauty by Sarah J. Maas. Let's go, Clay.
All right, so this is in my TBR. I know that, and I know it's been somewhat explained to me. I know there's a lot of romance in it.
Maybe a little steamy.
There's steam. A Court of Thorn and Roses. So I'm gonna say it's in a medieval period. Let's just go with England.
Okay.
And
this is
that.
gonna be a true test of how much you listen and remember what I say.
And so they're all royalty, living their royalty life.
Yeah.
There's romance. There's politics. There's more romance.
You're being so vague. You gotta give me who's the main character, what are they doing, more. You gotta give me more.
All right, so you've got a king. You need to give him a real name, so like King Bill.
On the cover. There's a person on the cover. Who is that?
She's got tattoos on her arms. I'm gonna call her the Tattoo Queen.
Clay. So far we have a book set in England.
Yep.
Following King Bill and Tattoo Queen.
The Tattoo Queen.
And what are you trying, what is going on?
I mean, there's
Are they
romance.
just falling in love?
And they're trying to get
kingdoms?
trying to rule the world.
Oh, so they're trying to conquer the world?
Well, there's thorns, so there's gonna be some
okay, so these people are
strife.
Okay.
And so there's gonna be some backstabbing, some killers.
Okay.
And stuff like that. You've got roses.
Are they trying to conquer the world? I'm sorry, I was unclear.
I mean, they're always trying to conquer the world. They're regal.
Monarchs.
They're monarchs.
Okay, realistic. Fine.
And so they're just trying to take over the world. There's lots of romance and stuff. As I've said 27 times. I'm really bad at this. I could not write a book. I can't infer anything.
Makes me a little nervous about how little you listen to me. This is a Beauty and the Beast retelling. Court of Thorns and Roses. But it's fae. So it's a magical novel, and the creatures are fae, and our main character isn't fae, but she goes to the fae world. She's an artist, and has the tattoos, and she's basically trying to protect her family from starvation. They're really, really poor.
But it's Beauty and the Beast.
It's a Beauty and the Beast retelling. The first one is.
So is she Belle?
Yeah, essentially. And the fae that she's living with is Beast, because he can also transform into a beast.
But he's not always a beast.
Not always.
So what's the...
Most of the time he's hot. Yeah. All right, Clay. You got 2 out of 5 points, so I would say mediocre.
That's what I'm going for. Not bad. You can
Not
skate
great.
by in life. Mediocre. Just under the radar, right in the middle, or just slightly below. Mediocre.
But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I had fun filming it. Did you have fun?
I had a lot of fun.
So let me know down below how many points you would give Clay. And if you think we should do this video again with a new set of books. But yeah, anyway. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys soon with another video soon. Goodbye.